Presented by AfterBuzz TV and hosted by Hall of Fame superstar Sean X-Pac Waltman, this is X-Pac 12360. And now your host, WWE Hall of Fame superstar Sean X-Pac Waltman.
All right, welcome to X-Pac 12360, everyone. Woo! Back again. I had a great weekend. I don't know about you two.
I can tell already that you had a really fun weekend.
It was great. And like the whole time, I didn't look at fucking Twitter at all once. It was amazing.
Exactly.
It was amazing. And then I get on the plane, I come home, and I get off the plane, and as soon as we land, I look at Twitter, and it's just like, boom, back to reality.
Back
a bunch
down.
of fucking assholes.
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone on Twitter, obviously.
No.
But God, yeah.
But a decent amount.
Like just everyone up in wrestling Twitter. This person's a piece of shit. That person, this, Brandy Rhodes misspoke. This person did that. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, at least you had a nice couple of days of staying away from that.
Tell us about New Hampshire, about Triple H's 50th birthday.
Wow.
Yeah?
Yeah. Man. So it was it was it was his 50th birthday. And so it was kind of, it was a real intimate affair, but there was no more, I don't know. There might have been over 50, but not much.
Okay.
As far as how many people were there. Mm-hmm. And it was like Paul said, it's like only people
right.
It
could have been a hell of a lot bigger, but
yeah, and then, actually a lot of people I think got their feelings hurt.
Oh, for not being invited.
Get invited, yeah. But
So what did you guys do?
Oh fuck! I forgot I had the itinerary. I should have brought the itinerary because there was a whole itinerary. That had everything laid out. So I got there before anyone. The only person that got there around the same time as me, because I flew in the night before, having to come, from out here in LA. I took a red eye and I got in about 8 o'clock. Boy, I'm really going into the details here, aren't I?
We want to know the details, so we're going to live vicariously through you right now.
Okay. So, I get there, and, Scott was already coming in later, so I'm like, I'll just fucking get there myself. And so, but my license is expired, and I'm waiting to get that taken care of, so I couldn't rent a car, so I took an Uber 2.5 hours.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that was pricey.
It wasn't cheap, but, it was fine, whatever.
Yeah. You did what you
it
gotta
was
do.
well worth it. And went to this beautiful town in New Hampshire with amazing lake. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life. And I'm not going to actually give the name of the town.
Okay.
So, because I don't want people showing up to the town and
I'm glad you even said that because I was about to.
Wow, what an amazing, there was this, it was kind of like a boutique hotel, old. You could tell it was really old, from maybe even the 1800s and been updated a little bit. And it was right on the lake, and there might have been 40 rooms total there, and it wasn't cheap to stay there.
Yeah, totally.
Geez, thanks, Jeff. Just totally distract the fuck out of me and tell me, don't worry about me. When I'm
So the 40 rooms.
Oh, yeah, where was I after I was totally distracted there?
The 40 rooms, they were nice.
Yeah. Beautiful. And, I got there early, so, they weren't ready for me. And so I didn't get a room with the balcony.
Oh, damn.
But a beautiful view, but Scott was right underneath me and he had a balcony.
Okay.
So that was where I had to go to do the things that he and I do.
Sure.
So, anyways, so the only other person that got there same time as me was Adam Jones. I don't know if you know who that is.
From Tool?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. One of the greatest guitar players ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, Adam was there. He and I, we caught up, talked a little bit.
Nice.
His girlfriend was there with his wife. Oh, fuck, I hope he's not watching.
Did you and Scott get more of that time on the balcony like after?
No, it was great.
After our reunion?
There was, that? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, more of that, yeah.
But, okay, yeah, so where the fuck was I?
You got to your room, you didn't have a balcony.
Yeah, and so I was by myself, and so I walked around the area and like went and, I don't know if you saw, like I posted, I'm about ready to fuck up this lobster roll.
I did see that.
Yeah.
How was it? Was it good?
It was great. Yeah, it was so good. But they had another one. Like, they had a full, like, pound. You could order a pound, like a 1 pound lobster roll, like $40, $50. I just didn't have enough room in my gut for it. But, yeah, no. So I walked around and oh, excuse me. That was for the asshole on my fucking YouTube comments that called me a junkie, and I don't read them very much, but complain about ripping. That was for you. Go fuck yourself, dickhead.
Amazing.
Yeah, where was I?
You were eating the lobster.
Oh yeah, no, but so and I have a pair of shorts. I have one pair of ugly ass shorts with me that I've had for like 2 years that fucking barely. They only started fitting me again when I put some weight back on. But so I went to look for some shorts, at the gift shop, and they had some like really ugly ass shorts that were like $100, and I'm like, can see this town for the fucking poor people to come vacation at. That's for sure. So not only are like $100, but they're ugly as fuck too.
Of course.
Above the knee, like 4 inches above the knee. Those kind of shorts.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, I'll just stick with my ugly ass shorts.
I was about to say, I thought you were gonna actually buy the shorts.
No way. Like I'm too cheap, but I was just like, they got to be nice.
Sure.
Like, they got to be decent shorts. I'm gonna pay that much.
Yeah.
So yeah, fascinating story there about the shorts.
Let's get into like the concerts. Stuff like that.
So by about 8 o'clock, Keven, Scott arrived, and then we had dinner downstairs, and it was nice. It was real nice. Shawn came down. Shawn Michaels.
There you go.
The Heartbreak Kid.
Awesome.
But I call him Shawn.
Right, of course.
Fucking stupid. Boy, I'm being really stupid today, folks. And I'm enjoying it. Bear with me.
But no, the stage setup, you were showing us the...
I'm not even close to being there yet. Just hold your horses, Ty. Fuck.
You're like, I'm ready for the party.
Right, yeah. Let's get to it.
Anyways, okay. So whatever, but like people start showing up. Matt Bloom came, and
awesome.
There's a lot of people there. I'll get to who all came in a second, because the next morning at 11 they started. So this is a place like where Hunter has a home on the lake, Hunter and Steph, and they come there once in a while. It's not their main place, but it was fucking beautiful. Oh my god,
awesome.
So everyone got shuttled over from the hotel to his place, and we just hung out there for the first part of the day till like 4 or 5 o'clock. Tons of jet skis, boats, the go-karts. There was like, it's a really big thing now, is like throwing axes.
Oh, sure.
At the targets. Mm-hmm. So they had that set up. And, of course, Vince was fucking... Vince, Kev, they're all over there.
You said Vince was looking pretty jacked.
Oh, yeah, Vince was jacked when he showed up. Fuck yeah, oh my god. He looked incredible. Whew. Walking around like, all bowed up and shit. Like, making sure everybody's... fucking tricep. Oh, anyways, whatever.
He definitely had cool shorts, then, is what you're trying to say.
No, he didn't.
No,
but he looked...
he didn't.
Yeah, he was just... No, definitely nothing cool by anything he was wearing. He just looked really good.
He's just jacked up.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, so they had... man, they must... anyways, they had a ton of lobster meat there. It was just... Like, if you like lobster, and I do, you're in fucking heaven. I mean, it was just... I couldn't... They must have bought up every fucking ounce of lobster meat in the whole state of New Hampshire.
Right.
Yeah. it was so great. Ric Flair was there. So like later on, hey, so put a few of the pictures up. Well, that's Batista. Batista showed up. Look at fucking photobombing in the background, Kev. I hadn't seen Dave in a while. Like,
sure.
Especially had a chance to tell him how much I enjoyed Hotel Artemis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did we talk about that?
No, I don't think we don't.
Yeah, what a great show. What a great
not
movie that was.
since I was on. Huh?
Anyways, it was great seeing Dave. So Dave tells me he's going. Do you remember the first time we met? And that's something I always ask people, because I usually do. And he's going, you remember what you said to me? And I'm like waiting for like some profound thing I told him that fucking inspired him to do. And he goes, you looked at me and said, you're not a narc, are you? I'm like, what? The fuck out of here. Did I really? I mean, why did I say that, Dave? I thought he was joking at her.
Right.
He was laughing, but I can't imagine why the fuck I would have asked him that.
Did he remind you what he said in response to your question?
I don't remember that, but obviously it happened because
Sure.
it's stuck in his mind, and I was obviously just fucking with him. Especially like at the time, he's like 340 or 350.
Right.
Just dragged.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, around what time did you first meet him?
OVW.
Okay. Oh wow. So
Yeah, when he was in OVW, we would show up to Louisville or do TVs in that area, and he'd be there.
Right.
But
God,
yeah,
he was
Dave.
massive.
So yeah, and that's the wrong picture. Like that's.
Is that from
Anyways,
later in the night? Okay.
Yeah, like okay. Here's a picture of us. We were, on the boat we were talking about, and so it was great.
Looks really nice, really blue, really breezy.
Yeah, the people at home that aren't watching this,
That are
they're
listening.
going, what the
Right.
fuck?
It's great audio. Yeah. Watch
Look
the
at how
YouTube
Jack
stream.
Kev is, right?
Seriously.
Yeah, and how great Sean looks.
Volleyball,
And
yeah.
then there's Scott and I. I used to be ripped like up until WrestleMania. After Mania, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm just gonna eat what I want. So,
Sure. That looks awesome.
yeah, and then so that's a picture of Bray Wyatt and his beautiful baby and Braun Strowman.
Awesome.
That was from the Raw reunion.
I love that.
Somebody posted that already, so.
That's great.
Anyways, so later after the day at the lake, we went back to the hotel for a few hours and got ready for the festivities in the evening, and then we went to their farmhouse, which was like just I don't know, on the same property. And, oh fuck, sorry. Quit fucking calling me and texting me. Anyways,
The farmhouse?
yeah, the farmhouse. So they had the barn set up, and they had this big like temporary structure set up next to the barn. I'm going, what the fuck? And then Paul told me, there's something in the barn I'm not supposed to see, right? So they had the tables lined up, and at our table was myself, Scott, Kev, Sean, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and his lovely wife Wendy. It was a nice table to be at.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely the coolest table. And so they had a band there, and I kind of heard there was going to be a special guest, and I'm like, I didn't recognize this band. I'm like, is that some? Are they? Did I just not know who the fuck they are? And they were good, but that wasn't the surprise. So after the band played, we went outside, and Steph's like, hey, look over here off into the tree line, and like, I don't know, it was like a quarter of a mile away on the other side of the trees. All of a sudden, man, it looked like there was an invasion of fucking UFOs coming up out of the tree line. Hundreds of drones in the middle. It's at night, right? So they all light up, just slowly raise above the tree, and then the music starts, and like all this cool shit happened, and then like the DX music plays, and there's this big DX thing in the sky with drones.
Holy
and
shit.
it was amazing. Like if you go on YouTube and look up drone light show, you'll see something similar to it. It was and there were cars. stopping on the side of the road, freaking out like there must have been we're finally being, first contact, folks.
Well, with all the talk of Area 51 right now, I'm not surprised that was the first thing on people's mind. But that is so cool. Was that the surprise that they were saying was going to happen?
No, that was just one of them.
Oh, wow.
So then we went back inside and sat down, and, there was a few things said, everyone, exchanging pleasantries and all of that, and Paul said a few words, and then excuse me, that's another one for you.
Another one.
2. We should start a counter. We should start a counter.
Yeah.
That too.
The screen.
So, and then Steph goes, ladies and gentlemen, please help us welcome, one half of the founders of Creedence Clearwater Revival. And I'm thinking, oh, we get the other guys? And he goes, she goes, John Fogerty, and I couldn't even fucking believe it. Everyone did.
Holy shit.
Look, John Fogerty is a legend among legends. Mm-hmm. Every fucking song he did, and he played an hour and a half easy, and every song, everyone knew the words to. And like a couple songs in, he brought out Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, and they did, Fandango, and Sharp Dressed Man, sure. And then, Billy, he flew in from Spain just for the party, and then flew back out to Spain.
Oh my
same
God.
night. Yeah. And it was just a legendary fucking evening. It was amazing. And there was a little after party after that. Anyway, so yeah.
This stage setup was pretty cool. I know they have Triple H's logo on the top. Isn't it correct? Up on the top. I don't know if we can kind of see it on the photo, but I thought that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't know why the pictures look so dark. They weren't that dark when I sent them. Anyways, and there was a picture of that was just up there of Hunter and Sean and John Fogerty and me, and anyway.
Awesome.
Yeah, and Kev.
God damn,
wow,
man.
What dinner was served for when you guys sat down for the dinner?
I had swordfish because I've just had too many. I had too much red meat lately.
Right.
So I had swordfish. They had prime rib, swordfish. Different thing, chicken. That was amazing. And then we got these lovely parting gift bags. Had a bunch of shit in there.
We should do an unboxing.
Yeah. A little water bottle.
Awesome.
Wow.
Anyways, wow. So yeah, it was fun.
Cool, man.
Yeah. And I can't thank Steph and Hunter enough for having us out there. It was Paul's birthday, but it felt like it was our fucking birthdays. Seriously. It was like one of the greatest weekends I've ever had.
What was your favorite part?
Wow. Besides John Fogerty?
Right.
Shit. I don't know. My favorite part was just everybody in an environment where we could just breathe.
Right.
Vince was there, Linda, I was during that John Fogerty's playing, Linda and I are dancing, it was crazy, right? Everybody's just letting loose, and Vince is out there cutting a rug with Steph, and it was great. Fucking Vince has some moves. Go back and watch. Do you remember when they had their first wrestle album? Well, you guys weren't alive then. The wrestling album.
Oh, I do remember.
Remember when they had the big, kind of like a slammy? I don't know if they called it the slammies back then, but anyways, Vince came out and he did. If you only knew what I'm gonna do to you. You ever hear that song when he did it? Did you see when he performed it? And he's dancing. Vince has the moves. Everybody
seeing him do Stand Back for sure.
So, if you only knew was the one everyone did.
Yes.
Vince's song was Stand Back.
Yeah. So good.
So I guess the main thing was just everyone, just spending time together.
Good, man.
Oh my God. Can I just please turn this fucking phone all the way on?
Well, honestly, it sounded like a lot of fun, and like just from the pictures that I've seen, I'm just like, dang, like they really went all out, really put this thing together, and it looks really cool.
Some of Vince's moves.
Oh, there you go, there you go.
Yeah,
For watching the stream.
hey, and that's no joke. Like, I mean,
So that's
he was
what
owning
you saw
that fucking dance floor.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Anyways, hey, did I already say who the guest was gonna be?
I didn't know, not yet.
Yeah, like in a little bit, we're gonna be joined in studio by a boy and his dinosaur.
So excited.
Yeah, and they're gonna be here in a few minutes.
All
So
right.
that was why my phone was going off.
There we go.
You want so they're not here yet. You want to talk
Okay,
about
so
some
let's
other
go
shit?
ahead and then talk about the news. Some of the news we have. We don't have that much, but let's go ahead and talk about some lighthearted news, I guess you can say. WWE Studios and Netflix are teaming up for the Big Show Show. It starts in LA on August 9th is, I believe, the date that they start shooting. Essentially, it's a multi-cam comedy series, 10 half-hour episodes, and it's essentially a comedy. All I know is a comedy. Well, from what I understood, it's kind of like a maybe scripted.
It sounds like it could be.
If it's a comedy series, I don't know how it can be.
Because it's with his
not scripted.
wife and his 2 daughters. So I kind of, at first, it sounded to me like it was like a reality thing, but yeah,
That's what
you're
it sounds
right.
like. I think it sounds like it could be like a reality show, just kind of like there's a loose framework of the stuff that they get into or whatever, and they just kind of roll.
So
I think it's scripted. I'm looking here, and there are showrunners attached. It's a multi-cam production, so
Nice.
it's pretty interesting to kind of see this step that's being taken.
So there's so much more to Paul White, aka Big Show, than being a giant.
Right.
All of that. I mean, I don't know if you all have ever seen any of his appearances since day one. When he appeared like on talk shows like Letterman or Leno or any of that stuff, he fucking owned it.
Right.
When he was out there, his personality and just his charisma and his sense of humor and his comedic timing, like just it makes total sense. Good for him. Good for you, Paul.
Even when he was the giant, having roles in movies like Jingle All the Way and The Waterboy, things like that, like people knew early on just how charismatic he was.
He was Big Show when he was in Waterboy.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Okay, it was Jingle All the Way. Yeah. I'm thinking of. But yeah, that's why he's had such longevity at this point, and the fact that he's able to do whatever with whatever's given to him and make it entertaining.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. That'll be exciting.
It's pretty cool. It sounds to me like they're going to be doing a couple more stuff with Netflix, because one of the other things that was announced was that they're going to be making a family movie in 2020 called The Main Event. That's all the information I have so far on that, but it seems like we might start seeing more stuff on Netflix, and I think that's pretty cool. Hey, top streaming service out there, right?
So I was just looking at Twitter on the way here, and I saw that Joe Manganiello, Vince Vaughn, Big Show, and like some other famous people you've heard of are fucking having a game of Dungeons and Dragons. I guess Joe Manganiello was the DM, was the Dungeon Master.
Awesome.
So that was going on. I don't know what that was for, but it looked like fun.
Yeah, I'd watch that for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into some of the Raw highlights then. Let's talk about some of the main things that happened. So, Ricochet is now going to be facing AJ Styles for the U.S. title at SummerSlam. This all started with a gauntlet match. Rey Mysterio defeated Cesaro, who then went on to defeat Sami Zayn. And then it was Andrade versus Rey, but Andrade won that. And then it was Ricochet versus Andrade, and then Ricochet ended up beating Andrade for this spot. It was a nice consecutive few matches.
It was really nicely done, and they got a lot done in that.
Absolutely.
Right?
I mean, Cesaro is so phenomenal just in general, but when you put him in there with the best high flyer of all time, and he's able to base him and
all that, but also we got to plant a seed for Andrade and Rey.
Yes,
for
exactly.
a possible hair versus mask match that I read about. And also, we got to build Rey back up after looking not so great
a couple weeks ago
over the Open Challenge.
Sure.
Debacle.
Right. But it was good. I mean, this whole thing was about a half hour's worth of just awesome, strong wrestling. Going
I
through
would
the
be
commercial breaks and
curious to
everything.
see what the ratings are for that segment.
Absolutely, yeah. The word going around is that this is kind of the most heavily, I guess, Heyman influenced Raw of this sort of new era, and I think you can tell for sure.
Okay.
You can definitely tell simply by the guys that you're seeing or the talent that you're seeing highlighted on the show. Moving on from that, we had Maria Kanellis, who is now the first pregnant woman to be the 24/7 champion. That was another thing that occurred. Essentially, Mike Kanellis won it when they all did the pile up, and in the end, he came out like running, and so he was the winner of that. But then afterwards, backstage in the locker room, she went in and was like, "Oh, this is for our baby," and she puts her heel on him, brings the referee. He has to lay down for her, and she gets the pin. Then she comes out and mocks all the talent because none of the talent wants to attack a pregnant woman, obviously. So she's now the champion.
So I've made my feelings known about this, and I think maybe I'm just one of the people that's fallen for it. Like, I mean, I hate this, and I think maybe that's what they're trying. Like, it's working on me too.
Right.
We're
I don't
talking
like
about
it. Yeah, but and I don't know, like, to what end. I mean, it's okay. It's providing, some. It's not putting the asses in seats, but it's.
I'm hoping
it's something that
looking for the silver lining. I'm hoping that it's at least getting people to maybe tune into 205 Live, see what Mike's doing over there, because he's doing really good stuff on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, I just hate seeing him get fucking neutered every goddamn
Yeah, I'm not
week.
crazy about this either.
And maybe that's just because I'm a dude, and I don't like to whatever.
Right.
I wonder how long she's going to last with the belt, because how do you take off the belt, off of her right now? Because obviously no one's going to go and attack her, so they're got to come up with a creative way to do so,
Right.
Yeah.
One of the other things that happened is we have new Raw Tag Team Champions, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are now champions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Good. That's a good move.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they deserve it. And it's the least they can do after those guys getting buried by us the week before.
Right.
So,
hopefully they can keep building the tag division out, and because God knows there's enough good teams that need to be spotlighted and focused on. So hopefully this is a step in the right direction.
Right call, right time as well.
Yeah.
All right, and then one of the other things that happened, we had Brock Lesnar severely attack Seth Rollins, where it was in the ring, and then it even went backstage where he was taken out of the ambulance, he was attacked.
So what's the deal? I don't like. I mean, it was good stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I'm wondering what the motivation is here. Like, he already what's he? You don't have anything to cash in anymore.
Well, I feel
he's the champ.
To me, on sort of a meta level, I feel like the motivation is just making Seth, especially lately, since it seems like he's kind of been losing some of the goodwill that he had, maybe making him more sympathetic.
That was what I thought.
Yeah.
When I see that, I'm like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing.
Right.
Like a little sympathy, a little extra sympathy,
Yeah.
maybe like.
And this is also just the best way to use Brock. Brock is in his element when he's just a sheer force of nature, just destroying shit.
Yep.
And so this is what people are going to tune into.
Yep.
For me, it was a little hard first to get back into the storyline with Brock and Seth, simply because we had already seen them go at it at WrestleMania, and that was kind of like, sometimes it's kind of like the wrap it up, okay, this happened, now we're going to move on to, new opponents, etc., etc. And so it kind of took a while to for me to get like back into it, but sort of the things that have been happening the past few weeks made me kind of like, okay, like I see what's happening here. You're getting my interest back again.
At least he did a good job. I mean, he fucked him up.
Exactly, yeah. God, the F5 onto the gurney was
It was when he
rough
threw him
looking.
into the post on the outside. And just fucking,
Jesus.
like a big old pile, like a big sack of shit.
And then the momentum, I guess you can say, of that sort of continued on for the ending of the show with the brawl that started off with Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns, and then turned on to a full-out brawl closing out Raw.
Yeah, and we got that giant leap from Cedric Alexander off the set. Good Lord.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we continue seeing Cedric kind of like put on this level. I like seeing the mixture of these the guys that were on 205 Live, mixing them up with the heavyweights.
Hey, so as long as he don't drop the ball, it'll be a lot easier, for them to take a chance on others.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like when I came in as 1, 2, 3 kid. Had I have dropped the ball on that, who knows? Next time they would have taken a chance on some little skinny fucker.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah.
What else? Anything?
That's pretty much it for our news segment. Do you want to go into our break now and then come back with our guest?
Let's do it. We'll be right back with Luchasaurus and the Jungle Boy. Welcome back, everybody. Joining us in studio right now. They're getting a lot of buzz right now, deservedly so. And they've been seen on AEW, and it's a boy and his dinosaur, Jack Perry and Luchasaurus. Make some noise. Woo!
Thank you.
Hey, what a pop! Huge pop. Hey, thank you guys.
What's going on?
Thank you, man. And I know, Jack, I've met you a few times.
Yeah.
Just like so everyone knows, I remember. When I met you, you hadn't really had any matches yet, right? You were kind of just championship wrestling from Hollywood.
A little bit, yeah. I hadn't wrestled there, and I was hoping to. I remember that meeting in that parking lot.
There was some, I remember you telling me, there was some issue with your shoulder.
Yeah, I'd sprained my AC joint, and it's funny because I actually just did that to the other one. But yeah, I was wanting to get on TV there, and I was setting up the ring and all that.
Yeah.
But that was a bummer because it took a couple months with the shoulder and everything.
Yeah, and at that point you got a bunch of different people in your ear, telling you should be doing this, you should be doing that, and but I've known you
long time.
Yeah, for a minute or two.
Yeah.
And but I didn't realize that you guys had a history a lot way before people realized, right?
Yeah, we started training at the same time out here in Los Angeles about 10 years ago, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, I was in.
Wait a minute, how old are you?
I'm 22 now. I was about 10 or 11 when we started. Yeah,
I was a little older than that. But we started training at the same time, and it's kind of cool that we've always kind of found our way back to train together. When I took a couple years off and did reality TV and came back to Lucha, I was training again. We found each other training in the same place again. So it's always kind of we've always met back, and it's finally cool that we've been able to put it together.
Nice.
Did you guys always have that instant chemistry together, or was it sort of found once you guys started teaming together in AEW?
Well, actually, the first time we ever teamed together was bar wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for Joey Ryan's.
We kind of I've known him forever, and we would cross paths here and there, but it was never something that I really thought about.
Yeah.
And he wasn't always Luchasaurus really, and then it kind of was it Joey's idea? What was
I think it was Joey's idea. Yeah. He thought I really want to book you guys together. I think that would be funny. I think he called it a boy and his dinosaur.
Yeah, and I thought it was cool, but I didn't think it was as cool as it turned out being.
Yeah.
And I remember someone tweeting can we please have you ride to the ring on Luchasaurus' shoulders? And I was like, sure, what? And the first time we did that, people went nuts.
Yeah.
And before we even wrestle or do anything, people go nuts off that, which is so cool.
It was when I came out to the ring with him on my show. I was looking around, and people were just so happy watching this. I'm like, this is really interesting that they're getting such a good feeling out of
the good
seeing
feel
this.
stuff.
Yeah, so it's cool right away.
And and so we've talked about this. And I'm gonna put out there. It's not like you're the new Kane and X-Pac, but there are, because you're not. You're fucking boy and his dinosaur.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
But I kind of felt, when I first saw it, I kind of felt a lot of similar feelings.
Yeah,
And
I was studying that when we started teaming right away. I was like, let me look at some of those matches, because that's kind of the psychology of the team.
Yeah.
Really, it's the big guy who's kind of like the misunderstood monster, teaming with the guy who's. Well, actually, he's got a different thing because he's the Jungle Boy.
Sure.
He's the only one that understands me, I guess, because he's from the jungle. He kind of found me in the jungle, something like that. But it's the same kind of dynamic.
Yeah.
And it worked then, and it's it's working now on a different level.
Yeah,
for sure.
I was going to ask about that because you don't usually see a lot of teams with such kind of a size discrepancy.
Yeah.
Was it difficult, sort of, coming up with double team offense or things like that?
I think it's been pretty easy. I like it. It lets us kind of do. He can do more of the power stuff, obviously, but it kind of gives us interesting stuff to do that I feel like a lot of teams aren't doing.
Yeah, and also, we both, can do flip things as well. So there's a lot of ground we haven't even covered with some double teams, but it's like we'll shoot ideas back and forth, and it's like, oh, what about this? What about this? And it's like we feel like we can pretty much do things that no one has ever done before because of that size difference and because of our range of ability.
Yeah. Hey, so when I teamed with Kane, obviously I took the heat every night and got the shit. You know, is that the same for you?
Yeah.
So
I mean, so far we'll see.
Yeah, he wants to get out of that.
Well, we have Marcus Stunt now, though. So maybe.
Oh yeah.
That's right. We got a smaller guy.
Yeah, Jack, get some hot tags in there.
Yeah.
Hey, so how does it work when as far as promos go?
Well, as of right now, Jungle Boy, I haven't taught him yet to speak properly. We're still doing the lectures. You know, I'm working on it. But in the meantime, I do the talking.
Super intelligent dinosaur.
Yes. I do the talking, and he kind of just, mimes it and repeats after me. Or if he disagrees, he'll tell me. And I understand some of his jungle talks. He'll whisper in my ear some things that, people won't understand.
Hey, so this is kind of like a little bit out there, but it's something that reminds me of you guys. Do you remember, like, back in the day, I don't know how old you were, but, like, when I was a kid, there was this thing called Sid Marty Krofft Superstars. They had, like, fucking HR Puff and stuff, Land of the Lost, things like that. And they had one called Bigfoot and Wild Boy.
Oh.
And, and it reminds me of you guys a lot.
I have to look into that.
Yeah.
T-shirt.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, and that's the vibe that I got, especially
There's
with...
Bigfoot and Wild Boy right there.
I already pulled it up.
Pull it up, Jeff.
Oh, he's like a Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Especially, with being called a boy and his dinosaur, it gave me vibes of like an 80s like Spielberg movie, like an E.T. or something like that.
Well, that would be our names if we went to NXT.
Hey, so Jack, tell me the backstory of Jungle Boy.
The real backstory?
Yeah.
Shit.
I never came up with Jungle Boy. And I remember, because I trained when I was younger.
Yeah.
And then when I got into middle school, I was ready to retire from wrestling. And I kind of got into other stuff.
Yeah. Like school.
Yeah, girls and music and middle school itself. So I kind of walked away from that. And I ended up getting back into it kind of at the end of my high school. And I didn't know what to call myself. I wanted to have a different name because I didn't want to use my real name.
Right.
And I remember they were asking me what they wanted my name to be, and I stole this guy's name off The Ultimate Fighter. And
Nice.
it was just a random name.
Yeah.
And so I used to get super wet. I would just like douse myself in water. And so I'm out there, my first match back, super wet in this little warehouse, and it was just, I didn't get a pop or anything when I came out, and it was really kind of awkward. And I'm waiting for the other guy to come out, and I didn't know what to do. And I'm a big Conor McGregor fan.
Yeah.
And I would always see that before his fights, he would kind of crouch down like a monkey a little bit. And I always thought that's pretty cool. Like, if I saw someone waiting to run across and kick my ass sitting like that.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll just kind of crouch like that. And pretty much the ring announcer, he just said, he's like, I got a nickname for you. And I said, okay, whatever you want. And he made up the Jungle Boy thing right there. And when I first heard it, I was like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that you just did that to me.
Well, because, I mean, if one might think, oh, that's a really, like, something like that you would name yourself if it was 1984,
Yeah,
right?
I get a lot of comments like that and things.
But, no, it's cool, though.
Because
it's you.
Yeah, I'm so glad now because I've ended up kind of adapting my style and everything to the name. But the thing I like about it now is it's so different kind of from what everyone else is doing. And I've got a lot of kind of grief about it over the years. I've been not put on certain shows because people have thought the gimmick was too goofy and all that, but it worked out. So
but it's just, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a gimmick. It's just your name, man.
Yeah, I mean, some people take it really too literally. I've had people tell me, like, oh, well, you know that everyone knows you're not really from the jungle. So I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm really happy with how it's worked out.
It's good shit.
And I like how the whole thing's pretty absurd and kind of extreme, but people like it.
It is absurd, and that's the good part about it.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's also we're not taking ourselves too serious with it. Like, I feel like we're okay with kind of some self-deprecation you see on Being the Lead. Our segments are funny, but then in the ring we want to actually have good matches and really show that we can go. It's not just a comedy act.
And so. You guys put up videos, like in fucking Whole Foods at 2 in the morning. And, like, that's all great shit, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's like we're okay with kind of just being absurd with the gimmick. Go on with it.
And there's little things like that, even just the way that you present yourself on Twitter, just like from the perspective of this dinosaur, you know?
Yeah, and it's like my story is kind of similar to his. Is that like I didn't like the name necessarily. People started chanting when I came out at Lucha Underground as Vibora, the snake guy.
Yeah.
The crowd just chanted it. Like that was the first day they were chanting Luchasaurus at me, and I was talking to my friend Johnny Mundo, John Morrison, and he's like, "Dude, you should just run with that on the Indies. You know, you don't have anything else going on right now that you're gonna get some traction from Lucha Underground, hopefully. So why don't you try to create it?" And I was like, "You know what? You're right." And the same thing. People thought it was too goofy. Sometimes I couldn't get booked because of it, but over time I stuck with it. I developed my character in the ring based on the name, and it's kind of like we've met with the same kind of thing at the right time.
Yeah, and you're really like you up in your game. You know, you specifically. I see what you're doing in there, and I see the work you put in, and I like, you're been training a lot in Taekwondo lately. Yes. You can really tell.
Yeah, I do a lot of. I hate being taught by anybody at this point in my life. I'm really bad at being coached. I will take suggestions from anybody, but when it comes to actual training, I need to be in charge of it. Otherwise, I'm just not motivated. Yeah. But when I am training myself, I will do it nonstop. And when I found one of my friends who's a stunt guy, his name's Albert. He's done Superman, one of the top stunt guys in Hollywood, and he's one of my best friends. And when I tore my bicep at Lucha Underground, the next day he came over and he said, "Hey, let me show you all these kick position drills from Taekwondo drills." And he just showed me, okay, do this, this, and this. And for the next 3 months, that's all I could do. And by the time I was healed, like I had this whole new offense based on the Taekwondo, and it started letting me find better spots to put my gymnastics that I already had into matches. And all of a sudden I started to figure it out for a monster character to make more sense. And as soon as I started clicking with that kind of stuff, it translated better to the audience.
I started out in Taekwondo as a kid, and that's like honestly. I wouldn't have made it in wrestling if I didn't have that background. Obviously, right? You guys have seen, and I just the kicks in Taekwondo are really like perfect for wrestling.
They are. They're showy and they're safe.
Yeah, they can be a motherfucker too.
Well, you can do whatever you want with the kick. But potentially you can control what you're doing and not concuss
way more than like coming in with just Muay Thai training. Like you'll kill somebody.
Oh yeah, which I've been hit with in the ring. So.
Hey, talk about. You guys have some impressive showing so far. People mainly have seen, the AEW stuff.
Yeah.
Like there was like it was you guys versus. Help me out here.
It was the Dark Order.
Yeah, Dark Order.
Jack Evans and then Hell
Yeah.
That was cool.
You guys, you know Jack Evans and lived with me in Mexico. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I loved it.
It was so cool for me to be in there with Jack.
He's great.
I've just been watching his things forever, and he's a man.
Yeah, and we hit him with this finishing move of ours. That he was the perfect guy to do it, to debut it, and everyone's loving the move. And he just, going forward, it's a really cool move, but no one can do what Jack can do with the move. So hopefully we can make it still as good as what Jack can do. He's one of the most talented guys, I've been in there with.
Hey, so talk to me about any challenges you've had as a team so far. You know what I mean? Put matches together with other teams.
That's the thing is, when we have very specific.
I see him smiling. Unless he's thinking of something specifically.
We're not allowed.
I'll say this: it's there's a lot of responsibility when you're doing television. It's different from indies, and you have to protect your character and still make sense of matches, make everyone happy. And for me, it's difficult because I have this giant monster character that needs to do certain things. The Undertaker, he tells people, "Hey, sorry, I can't take your moves. I might completely no-sell them, and then I got to give you all my power moves." It's like it's a tough thing to go into a locker room and tell somebody.
But you better get used to it.
But you better get,
I do it.
Yeah, that's what. He's got to do it too. So it's. So far, things have been actually great. It's
so how you do that? He goes, "The office wants me working strong. Really sorry, you guys."
That's I'm gonna try. Yeah, that's how it starts. The next thing you know, it's the whole locker room's anarchy. But it's so far we've only had one match at AEW, right? I think we've only technically, so it hasn't. We haven't gotten into any, and everyone's pretty cool at AEW. So,
but you were both in the Battle Royal.
We were, yes.
Prior in the show before that.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
I was stressed out about that.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't even a normal Battle Royal. It was like 5 people every 5 minutes, and so. was kind of like a Royal Rumble, but that was so stressful. How many people had
all the different moving parts?
Yeah, it was
different moving parts. Time crunch. They had, we were running short of time. I at the last second was asked to do a lot more.
And if one person fucks something up, it could fucking have ramifications throughout the rest of the match moving forward.
Oh,
right?
yeah, God, that almost happened many times. Like if someone didn't get
Ripple
eliminated,
effect.
if you didn't eliminate people when they're supposed to, then good night.
But they had certain people, like Billy Gunn, for example, was in there the whole time just
helping direct traffic,
flow,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We needed that, and those matches are really more difficult than I realized. And it's on TV, and it was the biggest audience I'd ever performed in front of.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things going on in your head, just trying to get it done and not make a fool out of yourself.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I remember specifically about that show, I was there live, and when you guys came out, because you guys came out together during that portion, was automatically the thing that I noticed was the size difference between you guys, and everybody kind of just had that moment in the audience where they were like, whoa, like that's a really, like it's a big difference, and I thought that's one of the things that attracted people right away at that specific day. And then one of the things I noticed also too was the crowd reaction to you during that match was really, really incredible as well.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of different things that I think sort of intertwined together, but I want to kind of know with you guys sort of going out there and talking about being a part of the biggest show that you guys have done, what do you attribute those positive crowd reactions that you guys are getting to?
Ooh, what do you think?
I think it's partially because it's so different, but it's something that we're kind of appealing to the little kid in everybody, I think. And it's just something that's so... Wrestling is kind of so... It's so serious in a lot of ways, and everyone's just a straight-on badass, ass kick or whatever. And this is just... I think everyone wants to see a dude riding a dinosaur. It's sick. We've all thought about that. And it's just fun.
Yeah, and I think that's what we said before, is the gimmick is kind of absurd, but it's absurd in a way that you want to watch it.
Yeah.
And then I think as long as we get into the ring and we actually can perform and do it well, then it's okay, I really want to root for this because it's so different and so fun. Wait, they're doing good in the ring. Now I'm 100% sold.
Yeah.
So there's an interplay of both. So I take it seriously to make sure that our performances are always really on point and we do the best work we can with the characters and make the most sense of it. But all the fun character stuff is so different, like you said, from anything else on the show. Yeah. And we want to just keep exploring that and creating things in different ways to get people to feel like it's Disneyland or something.
And about your question, Denise, honestly, I think that's why you get the reactions you get is because of the character work that you've done and it's resonating with the people, and that's why. I mean, that's what it takes.
Being part of that battle royal on such a big stage, did you guys feel any pressure as far as AEW kind of being untested by that point?
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely... I wanted to definitely show what I could do a little bit because I was kind of a late addition to it, and there was not necessarily a talk of us teaming together yet. And we really believed in it at this point, and we wanted to at least get some time in there together and have a moment to let them know, wow, this could be a really cool thing. And I think we got that across with the limited time we had. And that was my goal, is just to make sure that me and him did something so that people could see the interaction and the chemistry.
Yeah, we went in there with a whole...
We had a whole plan.
We had a whole battle royal of our own plan ready to go, and then we had to narrow it down to one thing. But it was cool. It was we were talking about it the other day, but I feel like we kind of changed the course of events there because I don't know if we would have been a team or what, but after we had that moment, it was kind of solidified.
I think so maybe you think that they weren't necessarily married on the idea of you guys being a team, but you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we had a little bit of discussion about it, but there was no kind of concrete anything. Yeah. But I think then when we had that moment and it got that reaction, I think they saw that this is good.
Yeah, after Double or Nothing, I was probably gonna. My next showing with them was probably when TV started. They were gonna wait and start building my character on its own, and then all of a sudden I got the call saying, "Hey, we want you at all the events," and it was we put out those vignettes too. We followed up Double or Nothing with the supermarket little funny vignette, and a couple other ones coming out of the car we were driving, and those just took off so much online with the fans, and AEW's listening to the fans in a lot of ways on these things, which no companies have really ever done before, and everyone wanted to see it so bad. They're like, all right, we're gonna have them come out with Jungle Boy at this show. Okay, you guys are teaming at this show, and it's just kept on picking up steam thanks to them listening.
Hey, so have you guys watched the footage back and picked it all apart. And I did this way. We need to work on this. This was great. How about, we need to keep doing that every time. I mean, how's that process?
I usually watch the stuff at, like, the same night if I can.
Yeah.
We'll go back to the hotel and I'll send him clips and all that.
Yeah.
Most of our texts are talks about moves or sending clips or whatever, but we've only really tagged, what is it, like 2 times?
Yeah,
3 times?
We had a couple, like, three people matches or 6-man tags.
Oh, yeah.
It was, or we even had a match where it was a 4-way between us.
Yeah,
but we've only had, like, actually a concrete tag where it's just 2. Actually, we've only had 1
concrete
tag match versus 2 versus 2, straight up.
Well, so I look forward to, once you guys actually start having, more and more matches, see like how tight you guys get as a team,
Yeah, and that's the goal.
Well, considering one of the things that AEW has is a lot of talented tag teams, we can name a few. So now I want to know, for you guys that you guys only have had so many matches as a tag team together, do you guys feel pressure in terms of standing out in comparison to some of the other teams? And who are some of the other teams that you guys kind of want to get ready to like roll with and start working with?
Ooh, well, I mean, obviously we'd love to wrestle the Young Bucks. I mean, that's like the goal there at AEW is to have the match with, the team. But I don't think we feel any pressure now. I think once we got that first tag out of the way and we've had such a great response and the crowd's so eager to see us, I feel good about it. I'm just excited to show them what else we've got in store at this point.
Yeah. So you guys do have some more tricks that you haven't
Oh, yeah. We've barely done any moves.
Yeah.
We have so many ideas for matches. Yeah.
Moves out the wazoo.
Yeah, we got too many.
Yeah.
We got to start narrowing it down. One of my friends that we try them all on. He's going to be hurting for a while.
Who's that?
Our little friend B-, who's a local wrestler. He's coming up. He trains with me. I got to credit him too. Like he shows up every week and like lets me kick him in the face like 100 times. If it wasn't for that, I would not be where I was in the ring with some of my offense. So
he's been at every open ring I've ever gone to anywhere ever.
Oh, that's all he does 24/7.
He's always there.
Yeah.
So
he's a nonstop. He just trains nonstop. Yeah.
So, sorry.
that's cool to be minus.
Yeah, B-, man. He's
So
the man.
one of the things, obviously, is that AEW is super hot right now, and people are talking about them, and that's what you hear about on social media and wrestling news sites and all of that. So I want to know, what is the vibe with the talent backstage, knowing that they're a part of something that is, very talked about right now?
Yeah.
Well, I've been in a lot of locker rooms that are like TV lockers. I've been in NXT's locker room. I've been in Lucha Underground. I did our Ring of Honor stuff. I did Impact. So I've been around right now. And the vibe in the AEW locker room has really been my favorite. I'm not just saying that because I'm working there. But it's so relaxed. I have so many friends from across the wrestling world that have kind of come together now at this time, which is really cool. I get to see them. So I've never been in such a like non-political locker room. At least so far. Who knows what when things start happening. But so far, it's been very relaxing.
Unfortunately, as the company grows, it's hard to avoid that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's just part of the business. But I mean, it's just the way it is, man. But it can be. I don't know. It doesn't have to be as cutthroat as it was in the past.
Well, for sure.
That's all.
I hope.
I don't imagine. I don't know. For me, the way I summarize it, people ask me that kind of like, what's it like? And I was just saying, like, the Young Bucks are my bosses. And that kind of tells you what. I remember I was asking, I think it was Nick the other day. I was like, I don't know, man. Do you think I should do this flip off the apron? And he's like, yep. Which it's cool, man.
Oh yeah,
it's
they never
cool
say it's too much.
Yeah.
So you don't got a bunch of old fucks going, less is more. Back in my day.
Yeah, he's like, no, man, that's sick. Do it. So it's just a cool environment, man.
Yeah.
It's fun, and we'll see how it changes over time. But I think we have a really good. I think with the Bucks and Cody and Kenny, I think we have all the right people pushing in the right direction. So
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's all fresh minds. I mean, mind you, like, okay, you got like Arns around, and there's some guys there with the old school experience and all of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, really, it's all fresh ideas.
It's fresh ideas. But when you get some of that old school with the fresh ideas, that's when you start really creating some great new things, because we're doing the new school stuff, but they're reminding us of the little details that sometimes get lost in the new school that can be very important still. Yeah. So it's working out so far, been great.
Hey, so anything else?
Yeah. Oh, Batai, you want to go first?
Oh yeah, I was going to ask. I mean, you mentioned your history with reality TV.
Yeah.
Did you, when that happened, did you sort of catch any flack? How did that sort of affect your career?
It's kind of been completely separate, really. The reality stuff I kind of did after NXT when I was injured, and I didn't think I was going to wrestle again. It was 2013 when I left, 14 when I left wrestling, and at that point it was still like the indies were starting to get big, but it wasn't to the point where you felt like you had a career there. Yeah. So it kind of, at least for me, when I left there, I was like, okay, it's either WWE or there's nothing. That was the mentality of a lot of guys there. Like, you felt like if you didn't have it here, you're not going to have a wrestling career, and it was scary. So then I went and did reality, and afterwards I thought there's no way I'm getting back into wrestling. I'm just too far behind. But then I got a shot with Lucha Underground, who had the similar producers as Big Brother, even though they didn't really help me because they wanted to create this whole new character for me and get me away from all the Big Brother NXT stuff. So it's been separate. But once I got back in, it was like I still get recognized from the show in airports and stuff, but it's more or less, it's kind of, the wrestling is a different crowd. It's a different crowd, it's a different focus. So it hasn't really affected it anymore. And it's let me kind of have perspective, too, of like two different worlds, both in entertainment and still ways of approaching an audience. And I think it's just helped me as a performer, honestly, in different ways that I would never have imagined.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I wanted to ask, just going back really quick to AEW, was separating yourself as a talent, as a wrestler, but more as a fan of wrestling. What is it that you guys want to see or would like to see, you know, on weekly television for AEW?
You know, for me, I don't watch wrestling anymore. I kind of got tired of the product, I guess, that I was watching. I think it's just fresh, and whether it's kind of the stories or the moves that people are doing, it's so different than what's been out there. And you know, I think it has all the right things that people have been missing. And it's just, there's kind of just this like, there's this energy in the air there that I can't really explain, but everything's fresh and it's new, and I think that's everything you can ask for, kind of.
Hey, Jack, when you say I don't watch wrestling anymore, are you referring to just like what's on TV right now? Because, like, I mean, do you follow like what's going on? You know, okay, if there's a great match between Ospreay and Okada or something like that, man,
yeah, I don't.
How do you make sure you're?
It's funny because it was like Kenny Omega and Cody and the Bucks who got me actually back into watching wrestling. I watch a lot of like clips and I don't watch. Okay.
But so it's not that you don't know what the fuck's going on,
but
right?
I never sit down.
Raw's coming on. I better get home and watch Raw.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while.
Okay. I thought that's what you meant. I wouldn't want people to think that.
Oh no,
you know what I mean? That you don't follow the craft.
No, but I don't watch the show, I guess, as it is, and that's what I'm comparing this to. But I don't, I think being backstage at Double or Nothing and seeing that wrestling and hearing JR's voice, it was crazy because that reminded me of when I used to love to watch and what it was like for me back then. So to be a part of that and like hopefully to just recapture that kind of energy.
Hey, was that a fan? Like, I mean, I know your dad was really supportive of your career, but was that something you guys did as a family, watch wrestling?
Yeah, for sure. He used to. Yeah, he would take me to the shows.
Like the whole family, or just you two?
It was mainly us, but my sister got into it, and my whole family was pretty supportive. So when I kind of was like full on into it, everyone was into it a bit. But we used to go to the shows and watch TV and so yeah.
Do you have any memories of as a child, like meeting different people and like?
Yeah, the first time we went. He took me to like a Raw in Anaheim somewhere, and I remember I was a little kid then, but I remember just seeing how huge these people were, and I couldn't believe it. And I remember actually it was my dad met Dusty Rhodes there, and he was like nervous and shaking. He said, he's like, this is probably the only person I've ever been this nervous to meet.
Yeah, and that's what he said when I met your dad in San Francisco. Yeah, and because he was telling Cody that. Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean that was crazy for me to see. Kind of. Yeah, but we used to go. We went some in Nashville and all that. Yeah, when Rory Karp was on, like not too long ago, he was sharing some stories about your dad's love for wrestling.
Yeah, and all that. Man, he was into it.
Yeah. So, well, we're coming to the end of the show here. Do you guys have anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I want to talk about Battle of Los Angeles.
Oh, please.
Just announced. Congratulations. Your thoughts? How do you feel?
I'm excited. I kind of don't know what to expect because PWG is already so crazy as it is. So 3 days of it, I'm gonna be dead after.
Yeah, it's just a different okay, and say your normal show, like you have matches, and okay, the first match is an opening match, and right, it has the elements of an opening match, and then the show builds. PWG, it's the first match is balls to the wall, just like the fucking main event. Yeah, everyone's going out there, just and it's just every match is work like that.
Yeah, that's been cool for me to. It's kind of pushed me and shown me how to. I remember the first time I wrestled Joey Janela, I was really nervous because pretty much every match he has is like a PWG match. Yeah, and I kind of didn't know if I could go like that the whole way. Mm-hmm. And but he brought it out of me, and it kind of PWG and that it's all kind of shown me that I can hang with that kind of stuff. So.
Do you get nervous? Like when you go out there and you're like, oh, I know they're expecting the world of me, and this last match just killed it. I know that the next match is going to kill it.
Yeah, I'm usually puking before we go out there. I always say I hate it right before. I always want to quit. It's the worst part. Just right before you go through the crowd, I'm like,
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it gets better, but you're still going to have that. If that's just the type of person you are, like, it's something you're going to have to deal with forever.
Yeah. As soon as I go out the curtain, it's good, and I'm so happy. It's my favorite place to be, but right before, I always tell me this is the last time I'm doing this. I hate this.
All right. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Hey, what else? What's before we go? You want to share any? You guys have a PW Pro Wrestling Tee store. How does that work for merch?
Get those plugs in.
Yeah,
I think it's on the AEW.
I think it's on the Pro Wrestling Tees.
Pro Wrestling, under AEW's merch. But Boy and His Dinosaur, look it up. Yeah, I think you'll be able to find some good shirts
social media. What's your social media handle? Share with the people.
I'm at boy_myth_legend, Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah, my Instagram is now Luchasaurus. Yeah. My Twitter's still Judas Draven. It will be Luchasaurus soon. We're working on that. That's what they do. So,
cool. Yeah. Well, hey, real quick, get the social media shit out of the way.
Real quick, guys, don't forget to follow us at X-Pac12360 Show, X-Pac12360. Don't forget to check us out and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor. We're all over the place. Make sure to check us out.
You can find me at Ty Matthews PMA, Twitter, Instagram.
All right. Well, you guys, I'm not even going to tell you my social. I don't give a shit. I'm grateful that you guys tuned in today, and Jack, Luchasaurus. Yeah. What do you want me to call you on here, Austin?
You can call me Austin.
All right. Anyways, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to come in today. Thank you guys.
Thank you. This is awesome.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. And I enjoy your stuff. I'm a fan of you guys, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys have for us in store in the future. All right, everyone. See you right here next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Sean Waltman, and the entire X-Pac 12360 staff, thank you for tuning in to X-Pac 12360.